Heroclix land, welcome back to Talkn Clix, where we celebrate the heroes of Heroclix. I am Wespool, your host, and as always, my co-host is Scott, son of John. Hello, Scott.
Good evening.
We have a very special guest tonight. Who's our special guest tonight?
We have the McConnell Lamarre.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Nice to see you, buddy. I feel like I've heard your name so many times, like a celebrity. I've never actually met you face to face, so
No, not at all. I just ask a lot of questions on like podcasts and on the Facebook pages.
Yes, that's the reason I'm like, man. You even reached out to me after our Paul Waller episode, and you were
Yeah,
asking about Primus if I really thought it was going to be worth a flip.
yeah. I think
And
it is.
to validate it, Miles Kane got on Degeneration Clicks and was pumping Primus as well. So, I mean, maybe Miles and I think alike. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's good. I think when he first came out, I misread his card and thought the placement could be affected on both opposing and friendly turns, which was like, oh, I was like, this guy's perfect. He shuts down Spirit of Vengeance, but then it's like, he only kind of like half slows him down.
I still think it's viable. So,
Yeah.
well, speaking of questions, we have a few listener questions tonight for Mr. McConnell. I'm going to start with our Discord questions. So, if you are a listener of this show, we have our own Discord channel where you can just chat with us, talk about what's going on in the community. You can submit questions for the show. Just a fun little Discord channel. Paul Cote writes, what HeroClix would you like to be known for?
Oh wow. Would I like to be known for like something I played and like brought it to prominence or something
That's
I
how I take it.
okay. Um, I guess right now in modern, I played them like once or twice, but I really like that calendar Yandu, the one that can kind of steal equipment away at the beginning of the game. Um, I think there's just a lot of equipment being played in really in modern and silver, but yeah, I think he's a good player. It's just tough to try to fit him on some teams. There's obviously more point efficient figures, but I think he's a really fun figure. I'd like to give him another try.
Yeah, I wish I do the calendar thing every year. I mean,
Mm,
it, HeroClix is perfect for Advent calendar. It's
mm.
the perfect size. It's a blind pull. It's a match made in heaven. I loved it.
I mean, it's not technically a blind pool, but
Okay, well, the way they did it, it wasn't, but it could be
could be.
if they did it right.
Yeah.
Paul Cote also asks, what is the best cuisine? Mexican, Italian, Chinese?
For me, I think my favorite is Italian. Um, just all the different pastas, sauces, and they delve into like meat, fish, all of that. But yeah, I think I like all of those cuisines, but I think Italian would be my favorite.
Oh,
Now, true Italian or Americanized Italian? Like, there's a
Uh,
difference.
let's see. I mean, I've never been to Italy. It's on the bucket list, but um, I don't know. I don't know if I'm qualified to tell the difference, but I I like chicken parmesan, so maybe that's more Americanized. Um, but also like carbonara, all of that. So a lot of different things, I guess.
I'm gonna say cuisine wise, I prefer Mexican dishes, but dessert wise, oh, tiramisu all day.
Ah, man, it's a toss up for me between Mexican and Chinese.
Mm.
Um, but I will say, the first time I went to an authentic Mexican restaurant, my mind was blown. Like, this is not Taco Bell Mexican. This is
Yeah.
authentic. Like, don't drink the water Mexican.
You go to Mexico and you have food, and it's totally different from Tex-Mex. Like
Yeah,
Tex-Mex has more flavor to me, but Mexican food has its own spot.
Yeah.
yeah. I I just love authentic cuisine from any region. Like, it's
100%.
except for Iraq. The cuisine there was not that great.
I've never been like what kind of food do they have?
well,
MREs.
yeah, no, they had locals on the base that I was stationed at that had their own shots, which actually is saying something because we were not well liked over there. So they were risking their lives to come on base and support us. And one day, one of the laundry guys, his shop was boarded up. We found out that he had been found out and decapitated. So, but on the food wise, they had kebabs. They had every kind of kebab. They had beef kebabs, chicken kebabs, and mystery kebab. And I said, "Do I want to know what the mystery is?" They're like, "No, you don't."
Sorry, did you ever have one of the mystery kebabs?
I did, and it was good. I just, after I asked that question, I said, I don't know if I want to eat this again.
But I will try anything. Like if you tell me I'm gonna eat a person, I would probably try it just to see what it's like.
Ignorance is bliss. As long as I don't know and not thinking
My
about
wife
it.
is in that boat. If you don't know, if she don't know, then it's fine. But
Yeah.
if we're having venison or deer, she's like, not eating it.
Yeah.
We have wild hog, not eating it.
My daughter, I'll never forget the dinner. It was a nice summer dinner. I just grilled some nice thick steaks back when steaks weren't, $1,000 a pound. And she was probably 8. And I didn't realize she didn't know, but she asked where steaks come from. And we told her, and the face of realization, she realized she was eating a cow. It was jarring, and yet at the same time she was kind of like, "Well, it tastes really good." So,
Yep. Just thank you, cow, for your sacrifice.
Scott, did you
Paul?
have some questions?
Yeah, Mork Bird. Hi, McConnell. Great to see you in the hot seat for Talkn Clix. You're a very active member of the Heroclix community across many places. What drives your passion to be so active in engagement, response, and questions?
I think it's just simply I love the game. I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people know that the community is really awesome, and you know, most people could probably count on one hand how many bad experiences they've had in the game, whether that be in a tournament, a big one, small one, local, whatever. It's just a great game. It's a lot of fun. It's fun to interact with people and see how they see the game, and team building, talking about teams, figures, all of that. It's just a lot of fun to like pick people's brain and put questions out there and get feedback.
All right. He also asked, before being a Heroclix player, did you play other board games or tabletop or TCGs?
I did not actually. I think I come from a background of playing like video games, more so than like tabletop games. I got introduced to it by a couple of friends back around. Wow, it must have been. I think Armor Wars was the most recent set at the time. But
Like
yeah, got
2003,
introduced to it.
2004.
Yeah, so got introduced to it around then, and then yeah, just been playing ever since. But no tabletop stuff before that.
All right. Do many people suggest you look like Hannibal Buress?
I have heard that comparison
Yes,
quite
I
a
can see
few
it for
times.
sure.
I don't know. Maybe I need to grow my hair out or do something different. But yeah, I've definitely got that comparison before.
All right. For a long event, what sort of snacks or drinks do you like to have on hand?
Mm. Uh, First of all, very important, especially if you're gonna do like a long day of HeroClix or a tournament that has multiple rounds, Swiss, Top Cut, all of that. Water for sure. Um, Something like that's not too sugar heavy, like maybe like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, banana, apple, uh, like a
I mean,
Nutri-Grain
all that on one sandwich sounds great.
bar. Yeah, something like you have like a health bar or something like that. Well, I think all those are good snacks to have. But yeah, and any one of those, but definitely having some water is crucial.
All right. His final question, if you could have any HeroClix booster from across the years in your hands right now.
Are you there?
Top or bottom, that's me.
Hey, you guys cut out for a second. We rewind for a second. Can you ask that question again?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said if you have any HeroClix booster from across the years in your hands right now, what set would it be and what would you want to pull out of it? And then I want to know which way are you opening it, from the top or the bottom?
All right, I'll start with Scott's answer question first. Um, so in the very beginning, I think I used to open them from the top, just trying to like either with a knife to cut the tape or whatever. But I think who was it? I think it was actually Antonio Clark who was kind of showed me how much easier it is to open it from the bottom, just pushing the bottom in.
Another one for the good guys.
Yeah, no knife needed. It's easier. You don't need anything, just your hands. So yeah, I open them from the bottom now. And then as far as what set I'd like to pull a booster from and what I'd like to pull, that is a really tough question. My like trade and want lists are really small. So I guess I would try to, pick a set that has something that I'm still looking for. So I would go with Wonder Woman 80th and hope to pull a Sky Tyrant.
He is gross.
Yeah.
All right, I want to piggyback off that question about the boosters. Did either of one of you watch the Alec Musser unboxing that he just dropped a couple hours ago?
Yeah. And he
I
was
have not
tearing
watched
those boxes up.
Man, he was like tossing the boosters like this in the air and just flipping them around. And as painful as it was for me to watch him just rip them apart, he was just tossing them. I'm like, dude, these are fragile figures. They already come broken if you don't do that. He just tossed them and they're like, no.
Well, if you watch till the end, you saw he was. I think he was giving it away on his Patreon. It's like, so if it's broken, it's somebody else's. It's okay.
Nice.
Yeah, he has some good stuff. If you haven't watched it, I suggest watching it. He does a really good unboxing video. It's very well put together.
You seem a little frustrated because of the tossing of it, just nonchalant.
Oh, it was painful. It reminded me of a video I watched when I was first learning trying to get good to play in the competitive field. And I forget who I was watching, but they were talking about if you want to play meta, you gotta forget about the figure, and he just takes it and snaps it off the base. He's like, "This is all you need to care about is the base, the dial, the powers." And he's like, "It's just a comment. I have 50 of these. Don't worry about it. I know some of you are freaking out." I'm like, "Yes." I'm like,
All right, I got more questions. If you got any on Discord.
not on Discord.
All right, Eric Atkinson, the digital creator of the Red, White, and Clix flyer, has two questions. What figure would you make if you had a chance? Who would you give a He's got a ton of questions. What figure would you make if you had a chance?
All right. If licensing wasn't a thing and I can pick from anything, didn't have to just be Marvel or DC, it would definitely be something from Naruto. I think a lot of people see me post whenever a question gets asked about what figure should get made, what property should Heroclix go to next. I think I always comment with Naruto. I think it would be an awesome Heroclix set. So something from that universe I would definitely pull from.
All right. He also asked, who would you give a legacy card to?
Who would I give a legacy card to? So one of my favorite things in the game is keyword cheating. And the very first time I think I was exposed to it, and still to this day, outside of his point value, I think is one of the best keyword cheaters, is Doug from the
yes,
from
Doug's
the
Army
world. He just cheats so many keywords into Doug's army. So I would definitely give him a legacy card. Obviously, bring his point cards down. I think it was like 125 points or something like that. But yeah, Doug would get the legacy card for sure.
All right. Next question is a piggyback off the first two. What's a special power you would give your Naruto character and Doug?
A special power I would give a Naruto character is definitely something to represent his shadow clone jutsu, where he can just replicate himself. So maybe something akin to how time breakers can replicate themselves, but it would have to be on a more of a mass scale, because he was just making like hundreds of himself, so not just like one at a time. I don't know if you guys remember an old figure from the Mighty Thor set. His name was maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, but like Tyrannus or Tyrannus or something.
I
like
remember him.
Yeah, he used to make those I think they were called humanoids or something like that. But he could just pump them out so fast. Like when he had two actions, he made it for free. Beginning of the turn, he makes one. Power action, he can make one. He just could make them, so many. So something like that for Naruto. For Doug, um,
I think Doug needs a revived Click.
yeah, that would be good. That would be good. Like maybe like a stop. Maybe if he could do Mastermind within a certain range, but to the people that have Doug's army, which would be everybody because he's cheating them into his keyword. Yeah, maybe like a 4 range Mastermind for him.
All right. Eric's final question: do you have a favorite comic book or other literature storyline you would like to see be a storyline OP event? I'm gonna say Naruto.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I haven't kept up with comics and read them. I still watch like most of the movies and TV shows, but as far as like reading the actual comics, I haven't done that in a very long time. But yeah, I think Naruto would lend itself well to a storyline event. You could do like the tailed beast as something could be like the monthly prizes or something like that. I think that'd be really cool. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent.
So, from my personal page, I had two questions for McConnell. One is from Miguel Silva. What team did you play this past weekend?
So this past weekend, I played in a CCO in Pennsylvania. Thanks to Daniel Jones who ran it and did a really good job. Had some great players come out. Isaac was there. Luke Schaffenacker, Tim Tracer. I mean, just a bunch of Ed was there. Just a bunch of great players. I played a mystical theme team led by Spirit of Vengeance, Ghost Rider. It was him with the long sword. And forgive me, I'm trying to do this from the top of my head, but it was him. It was Elsa Bloodstone with the motorcycle. Madison, not the main set one, but the 100, the one that says no crit hits, no crit misses. Um, and then I also had Loki, the chase, the gauntlet chase with the destroyer armor. I had Phoenix Pog and King Deadpool, and Elsa with trick arrows. They're a lot of fun, and I feel like I'm forgetting somebody else. Uh, yeah, I'm probably forgetting somebody else, but yeah, I had those of a bunch of sideline stuff. I had the Ellie Moon Knight as one of my pilots, Gauntlet Hulk, Chthon, Spider Hulk, and the Chase Thanos with the Gauntlet. And I also had that 10 point one shot. What is it called? It's the Mind Gem. Yep, I had that. It was a lot of fun to play. I snuck my way into top 8, where Isaac, sent me packing.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had some good games. I think I had 3 losses on the day, 2 to Isaac, and 1 to a gentleman who was a really fun game, but I forget his name. Apologies. But he was playing like Ghost Rider with the Dream Ruby, Colossus with the Destroyer Armor, Kevin, Phoenix Pog, and Timebreaker, and the Chitauri Pog. So yeah, it was just a rough matchup. That one is just
I mean,
you don't want to
Ghost
attack
Riders.
Ghost Rider.
I'll be
Yeah,
so happy when Ghost Rider's gone.
Yes.
I mean, I
yeah,
love playing him, but man, I hate seeing him across the map.
yeah. It's just a tough matchup, right? Because like you have uh, Kevin, who you can't kill very easily. Colossus, who's just rocking a 22 defense with Impervious that reduces pen. And then Ghost Rider, who you essentially don't want to attack because if he gets the shape change off, then you're just hitting yourself. So yeah, it's a tough team. But
Battle Fury.
yeah. Well, it doesn't even work against him. He still gets to use it. He still gets the shape change.
I ignore shape change with Battle Fury.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I thought Ghost Rider said he can use his powers
Oh, he can
regardless.
use it. It just doesn't matter because I ignore it.
Huh.
At least that's my interpretation. I mean, you
Yeah.
can use it, but it doesn't stop me.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Um,
So, last question. I don't know why everybody's so interested in your dietary needs, but Riso Azul asks, what's your go to drink or snack when you play Clix?
I think I usually, because it's easier, I usually pack like well, I always have water, but I think I usually pack like an apple or a banana or something like that. Um, yeah, that or some kind of quick sandwich, peanut butter and jelly, or something like that.
Do you, at the beginning of a long day, like if dice roll at 9 a.m., do you kickstart the day with an energy drink or coffee or anything?
I don't drink coffee. I actually don't drink energy drinks either. I just try to have like a good, big filling breakfast. Uh,
Oatmeal.
yeah, and then I'll have a snack sometime between rounds, or when there's a cut. If I'm fortunate enough to make it to the cut, then when they have a little lunch break, I'll go and grab something real quick. But yeah, just something light to keep the energy up.
Cool, cool. Well,
Mhm.
that was our community questions for
Oh no, I
today.
got one more.
Oh, you got
I got
more?
one
Okay.
more. He reached out on the Talking Clicks Messenger. He's like, hey, looking for, excuse me, it's Arvel Lemure Stansel. Hopefully I said that right. Said, hey, looking forward to your live show with McConnell. Question wise, can you ask him his favorite tips and strategies for Wakanda?
Mm. Um, I think it kind of depends on the format. I think in Pulp, Wakanda is actually very good. In Pulp, I think if you play, Queen T'Challa, I mean, the King T'Challa and Queen Storm together, that just, increases your damage output. And they just have a lot of good options. The Shuri that can hand out the bystander weapons or armor. So, yeah, they're really good in that. In the modern age, I think there's a lot of stuff to be found with keyword cheating there, too. So you have Shuri who could bring in scientists. You have um, what was the name? I'm forgetting the one that could bring in spies. There was the other one that could bring in shield keyword or make Wakanda shield keyword. I think it kind of combines the two. So there's a lot to do with it in modern, and it only gets bigger in silver.
Oh
So
man, the T'Challa Star Lord to make them all Guardians, and
yeah,
then you put the Guardians in with it. It is gross.
yeah, Wakanda has a surprising amount of keyword cheating that it has within that keyword. So I think there's a lot you can do with it. But yeah, I think I would start there to maximize what you want to build with if you want to stick to theme. Oh, and of course, Chair Panther is he's really really good.
He's still really, really good.
Yes.
Um, he also wanted to say that you posted a team with multiple man several months back, and he swiped it, and he really enjoyed playing it. So thank you.
Oh, nice. I'm glad he enjoyed it. I don't quite remember the team, but I'm glad he had fun with it.
Look, I love multiple man, so I'll play it just for fun nights. I'll try and make it competitive, but he's not super competitive, but he is a nice point filler.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a lot with clicks. Like, there's throughout the podcast, there's always a lot of talk about the stuff that makes cut, the higher competitive end stuff. But there's so many figures that are just on the cusp of being good enough that don't get talked about because they don't make those higher cuts. But there's a lot of fun teams. It will be interesting, and I know it would just create a new meta. But there's always an interesting way to look at it is if you took all of the top figures out of the format, like what would be the teams that get played? Like if you went to HC units and used the meta tab and said, all right, no one can play the top 20 figures, equipment, sideline, what teams would get built? And I think it'd be kind of interesting to see that.
Look, after the show, I'm going to show you a team that I'm going to run this weekend, and I'm excited to play it. I'm excited that I haven't actually done my normal of build 400 teams and try and go to an event. I built this team about 3 weeks ago. I tweaked it a little bit, and then figured out that I could go last week. And I'm like, sweet, this is what I'm playing.
Yeah, I think that's what it's about, right? Because I think a couple of weeks back there was another CCO that happened at Highlander Games in Jersey that I played in, and going into it, I was just like, man, this is it's probably one of the roughest times I've had building teams because I was just so concerned about Beetlejuice and just thinking about I want to play. I had like three different teams, and I was like, I want to play a team that can, function with Beetlejuice around. But it wasn't the team I would have played otherwise. Like one of the other teams I had, like this team seems really fun. I want to play this, but it just doesn't work well against Juice. So I didn't play it. And then when I got there, nobody was playing main force Juice. So I'm like, I could have played the team that I thought was more fun, but you go in with the team that you think is best prepared to do well with what you expect to show up, and sometimes that's just not it. So it's almost always better to, from a fun perspective, to try to just play what you're gonna have fun with. Know that there's gonna be limitations against some matchups, but yeah, I think that's always important. Play
Yeah,
what you think is fun.
play what's fun and be mentally prepared for the struggles.
Yeah,
I feel like if you can mentally prepare yourself for the struggles, you can actually try and get yourself out of some of those.
yeah,
So
for sure.
Do you guys get emotionally tied to certain figures? Like you just, whether they're good or not, you want the figure to work.
if I can't make it work in a competitive game, then we'll shift gears at the shop and we'll try and play other games and I'll see if I can make it work in a casual type format. But I try and keep it fresh and play different stuff every week. I don't want to just force feed myself to be like, okay, here's Chair Panther. I'm going to run him every week. Or here's Ultra Chase Collector, which I don't own, but I've played against him a ton. I'm like, I can take this guy. Here's Spirit of Vengeance Hulk. Um, he's not unbeatable. He's difficult. He's not unbeatable. With the terrain under him.
Yeah,
Dr. Moriarty messes with his pilots. Bad.
real bad.
Gotta protect Dr. Moriarty.
Yeah.
Oh, you McConnell.
I mean, I think on my end, I don't know that it's a figure that I, really think is like that bad and still force myself to try to play it because I like the figure. I think inherently, if I like the figure, it has some value to me. I think it's good in some way. Um, but I guess going back to that Yandu, like he's probably not the most point efficient figure for his point value, but I think he does enough and brings enough value, especially in silver when you can put, he has more equipment options. I think he brings enough value to be played, even though he's not like the best 70 points that you can play. So I guess I would say him.
Yeah, I feel like there's always something that everybody else trashes on that I think is unique and cool and fun, and I feel like could be competitive in the right hands. And I just, for some reason, my brain just locks in on it, and I can't let it go.
So,
Back
for
in
instance,
what?
we're going to say Wolverine Deadpool.
Uh,
Unique, really cool in what he does,
yes,
but not. He's missing something to get him over the top. I mean, his
he's
70-point line and what's his other one? 40? 50?
he's got 50.
I mean, his point values are fine. He just there's something missing from him, and
He's
I've tried force
squishy.
feeding him.
You hit him once and he's done.
Yeah.
But I've been obsessed with the Gauntlet Spider-Man that takes away sideline and equipment.
He's
And
exactly what I'm about, yeah.
he just, I'm not a good enough pilot to make him work, but I know there's something there.
Yeah.
Back in the day of War of the Realms, it was the time dilation Spider-Man, the one that you roll 3 dice, and you choose the 2 that hit.
Mm-hmm.
I love that piece, but it didn't have enough damage output, and it was outwitable. So it,
Well,
Yeah.
that's when you go to the CAAV Spider-Man, the one that had a super sense on like a 4 through 6 or 3 through 6, and then he had the Spider-Man team ability.
Yeah.
After they changed it, he got way better, and you couldn't outwit his super senses. So,
Yeah.
and you put the Wonder Woman bracelets on him. Ooh, 2 through 6 super sense.
Never hitting him. I mean, I think it's like that with a lot of people. Like we actually had a player at that last CCO that I mentioned in Pennsylvania that played Gauntlet Spidey to top 4. I think it's just I realize that effect is very powerful, and I think he there's matchups for sure where he's just like he's gonna be hard to play against. I just feel like even with that, I feel like 75 points is a bit much to get that off, and you also have to invest other points to get him to that click on your terms. So now you're talking about over 100 points to try to get him to get that off, and is the juice worth the squeeze? Because once you get it off, the team can still lose. Like the 200-point Kong doesn't care for the most part. If you get rid of all his stuff, he's still coming across the map and smashing your team. I think he just doesn't do enough after he hits that click to be viable for his point cost. But there's definitely something there. I think he needs some more looking at.
I think he works wonderfully.
Mm-hmm.
His 75-point cost, I'm fine with. It is a little steep, but I mean, I learned a long time ago in Heroclix, damaging yourself usually doesn't pay off for you.
Yep. It just, I mean, it makes you just get closer to being KO'd.
Right? Now, granted, I might score 15 points. I might score 65 points.
Yep.
It's when is it going to be viable? If they just have a destroyer armor on their side, would I do it? No. That's what my team's designed to do. So now I got to figure out a different way to play that Spider-Man. Is he good top dial? Yes. Is he serviceable? Is he going to do the damage output I want him to do? Probably not.
Yep.
So
That's the thing. You gotta. It's the balance. Like just like the time dilation spider you just talked about. Like his points are geared more towards his defense. And sure, while he's hard to hit, is he scoring you points? No, he's kind of just denying your opponent points because they either don't want to attack him or when they do, they miss. But it's about finding that balance, right? Like maybe in silver, giving him the power gem is something that makes him more viable. That like shores up his offense, but it's tough. It's tough to like find a balance with certain figures. There's so many figures to look at, so it's hard to decide which ones you want to invest your time to try to make better. So it's a lot to look at.
Yeah, I've said before on the show that I feel like in competitive, if a figure is more than what I say, 100 points,
you were like 75 points.
yeah,
If it's more than 75 points.
If it's more than 75 points, people just dismiss it offhand without actually looking at it, which is super unfortunate.
Unless it is like a tent pole of like 200 points of like, here you go. I'm going to build around this and try and make it work. But
yeah, I mean, it's just like when you see some of the point efficient figures and how much they do for their points, those higher point figures have to do so much to feel worth it. Like even if you go back to the last rotation and you look at that Connelly Space Ghost, he must have had at least like 12 powers, even on his low dial. And he just still didn't see play. Granted, that was in the time when Scott Porter was around, and there was the free Sinestro core ring, the prob, all of the stuff that he did. But even then, like that Space Ghost had stealth, super senses, the double perplex, willpower. He was a wild card.
you make it sound like he's gone. He's still modern.
Yeah, and he still doesn't see play. Like he just does so much, but then like, there's always something that comes around to make him feel like less playable. First it was Scott Porter, then it's Beetlejuice with stopping all those free. Yeah, he just never has his right time to be super viable. But like that's just an example of a figure that just does so much, but just can't find a space on a team because of the limitations in the format.
All right, so. Were you ever in the military? Are you still in the military?
I have never served, but I know you did, Wes, so thank you for your service. I forget if you did.
I have not served.
Okay.
I was very close to joining the Marines when I was a youth, but nah.
Yeah.
It got complicated with the recruiters. So I'm like, nope, y'all are bothering me too much. I'm out of here. I'm going to go do something else.
Part of the Heroclix army.
Yeah. Do you have a nickname?
I don't know if I call it a nickname, but like it's kind of just a short name. Like some people call me Mac, just for short.
The Mac.
they leave the off. Just Mac.
No, we're gonna make it the.
Sure.
Or Hannibal Burris.
No. That's a good thing.
All right. So who's the clone? You or Hannibal?
If I had to guess, I would probably say I'm older than him, but
so he's the clone.
I'll say he's the clone.
Okay.
Yep.
He's also the famous comedian, so.
The 2.0, the 2.0.
You'll reabsorb him later, and hopefully you'll get his estate as well.
There you go.
Yep. I'll just walk into a bank and I'll say I'm him, and they'll.
All right, so we're nothing if not shameless on our plugs on this show. So I want to do our little fashion show of the Talkn Clix and the Red, White, and Clix shirts. You can find those on printify.com. I'll have a link in our link tree in the comments section, so make sure you check that out. We get part of the proceeds, and it'll go to help Red, White, and Clix. Then Scott
will the new logo be on a shirt?
Yes, the new logo will be on a shirt. I just haven't had a chance to design it yet. Scott, you have a fantasy football league that you're starting.
Yes. We are up to 6 people. I set it at 12, so we're halfway there. If you want to play fantasy football and if you rank higher than me in a free to enter, you rank higher than me, I will mail you, all costs on me, a booster of the newest set when the season's over.
Nice.
So I could be giving away 11 boosters.
There you go. I have had a Patreon account this whole time that I haven't really done anything with. And I want to start putting some energy into that. So, starting after Red, White, and Clix in November, if you are a member of the Patreon account, I will start doing monthly giveaways. I have to decide what the tier levels will do, but check out the Patreon account in our link tree and get signed up for some monthly giveaways.
And we have our 100 plus subscribers now. We're supposed to be giving away a brick of Lantern Legacy after it drops, and a Spirit of Vengeance Red Hulk with Legacy card, and a Caps Cookie Quartet, and maybe some other stuff. We'll find out.
There'll be some other stuff. I just haven't got it yet.
Very cool.
All right. And the last...
That's going to be on a live, so we're going to do the live, and then we'll figure out how to do the prizing afterwards. But yes, it's going to be awesome to give some stuff away.
And the last shameless plug is for Red, White, and Clix.
You got one more.
Oh, yes, our sponsor, John Hoffner at Clix Creator. He has already finished his 800 custom tokens for Red, White, and Clix. He's got a big box of them. He started today on the deity basis. He's got Professor X's floating wheelchair thing is a deity base. He's got a miniature Jeep that the characters can stand in as a deity base. And he's got lantern batteries that actually light up of every color. So those are going to be all available at Red, White, and Clix.
I've also ordered some other stuff from him that's not Clix related. My kid wants to be the Green Ranger for Halloween, so he's supposed to be trying to figure out how to make a helmet and the green dragon dagger.
Okay.
So,
yeah, he's anything you think of, he can print it. If it's can be made out of plastic or whatever material those things generate, he can do it.
So
He's awesome.
He can make a life-size Hannibal?
Probably. Don't challenge him because he'll buy a whole new printer just for that.
Hey, you can just piece it together.
Yeah, I think I told the story last week of he was trying to figure out how to do the printing of the maps on neoprene, and he said he was buying a new printer just for that. It's like, no, don't do that. Don't buy a whole new $2,000 printer just for that. He's like, shh, that's my excuse when I tell my wife I'm buying a new printer. It's for the Red, White, and Clix.
Good call.
All right, McConnell, back to your grilling. What do you do for a living?
I'm a logistics and distribution manager.
Logistics and distribution. I bet you hate some of the stuff you see Wizkids going through.
I mean, some of it's understandable. I mean, there's especially when you have stuff coming from like overseas, and you're just subject to a lot of things that you got to deal with to get things moving to different places. So I can understand some of it. Yes, it's as a consumer, some of it can be frustrating when you're looking, to get something at a certain time, when you're looking to have a certain quality of what you're receiving. So I get that part of it too. But yeah, there's some things are out of their control. But
okay, let's break it down. I'm gonna pick on Wizkids a little bit. I don't know if you've ever been to Gen Con or Worlds. I'm just gonna assume you have.
Worlds,
You've been to Worlds?
Yeah.
2023
Yes.
registration at Worlds. I'm sure you were there in that line.
Yep.
Why are we starting registration at like 9 o'clock and the event starts at 10 and you have almost 200 people in line?
Yeah.
And you want them to register for their battle royals, their side events, their main events, and you have one iPad.
Yeah.
Alert. They rolled out the online registration today.
They had to roll out. They had the online registration. You still had to go through the line.
Really? Oh, sorry.
Well, hopefully it's better this year. But yeah, because they, like Wes said, they did roll out that online registration that I think is supposed to be going live soon. But yeah, that's an example of something that's a little more in their control. Once they see how many people are signed up, which I guess you can kind of get a feel for with the number of TCB packages and rooms that get purchased. You need to say, okay, maybe we need to start registration at 8 or the day before or something else. leaving yourself just an hour to do the registration is just it obviously wasn't enough time. So at least it's good to see that they're trying and doing something
Well,
better this year. So we'll
I want
see.
to give them kudos because in 2023 it was a nightmare. In 2024 they had like 3 stations to where you would go in. It was still one line to get through the 3 stations, but it was a
Yeah.
little faster. And apparently Dova just started working with them just before that event. And from what I understand, it's getting easier. It's getting better. I probably won't make it to Worlds, but I can't wait to hear the feedback on it.
I
Yeah.
don't know what all Ryan O does at WizKids. I feel like he has a lot of hats, but whatever he does, ever since they brought him on board, things have improved tremendously at all the different events. So shout out to Ryan O for everything he has done to help improve WizKids' presence at events.
Yeah, it sounds like he has a lot to do with, and this is probably just a limited scope of what he handles, but it sounds like he has a lot of involvement in like tournaments and getting people prizing and stuff for their tournaments. I hear a lot of people reference him when they talk about running their supercharged seals and reaching out for running different events. So I think he has a lot to do with that. And I mean, you can see it. There's I know people have been asking for WKOs to come back, and while we haven't gotten that, the CCOs have kind of stepped in to fill that void, and we've just been seeing a lot more events going on. I'm not sure if all of it's backed by WizKids, but like we saw that camp event that Miles Kane and the DGen guys were talking about a while back. We've seen all the CCOs, a bunch of supercharged seals all over the place. I'm really curious to see how World is going to be with some of these newer events they've announced, like the Chaos Sealed and things like that. So
Have they discussed what the chaos is going to be?
I have not heard what it is now.
Like we're going to have a Mexican hat dance going on the map?
It's called chaos because you're going to show up and not know, and they're just going to decide on that day how it's going to run.
All right, Scott has showed up. He's the winner.
Maybe they just
Now you
do
have to, there's going to be a bunch of Scots show up and they got a fist fight or something, like Scott Crampton versus Scott Porter versus Scott Johnson.
it might be something way simpler than we think. It might just be, hey, everybody gets 3 boosters of Chaos Wars, and there you go, build your teams.
Or 3D6.
Could be.
We don't know.
So, with Beetlejuice on the table, and then we've seen the Prime Sinestro from Lantern Legacy, and then Miles Kane has talked about how there's a lot of fanboy dolls coming down the road. How do you feel about the direction that the game is going as far as figure design at this juncture?
So I'll talk about those two figures you named first, and I'll start with Sinestro. Sinestro, I think, while what he does is very powerful. I mean, board wide effects usually are. I think he pays a price for doing what he does. One, yes, you can build for it, but he affects your team as well as the opponents, and also he takes a prime slot. I think sometimes people miss how being a prime is a cost because it precludes you from having another prime on your team, and there's so many good prime options. I know
Yes,
he's
there are.
rotating. Yeah, I know he's rotating, but like Colossus is like the number one figure.
We don't know rotation.
Huh?
So we don't know
Oh,
rotation.
true, true. I assume. Let me say, I assume that he's gonna rotate, but he's very good. Reverse Flash is very good. Elsa. I mean, there's just so many good primes. So to play him is to say I'm not playing one of those other figures. So that's a cost. No stat mods on your own team. That's a cost. Even though he can negatively modify, and so can some of the other figures he plays. So he can just go like heavy reflex. So him, I'm not. I don't have a problem with really. And I think most people will play him at his 50-point dial, where he's not very hard to KO. So I'm fine with that. The Juice, he is a different story. So I'm appreciative of this, the step that they took to limit him from his original release form, um, to make it, so that he has to go to standard characters, even though there's ways around that. Main Force Juice, I think you've seen, at least for me, I've seen way less people play it than I anticipated after the errata, because when he first got errata, I think he got played. I think it was Isaac that played him and did well, if not win with him. And it's just like, this is a force to be reckoned with. Like, if you're facing a main force juice, it's just you have to be prepared, and it's very hard to function with some teams. Um, I think the reason you don't see a lot of people playing it is because it's really just not that fun. It's not that fun to play him main force, because he's 100 points, so that's a third of your build. That doesn't really bring a lot of offense. We talked about time dilation Spidey not having offense. Juice probably has less, but he just had such a powerful effect that you can kind of rationalize playing it. So those two is that's how I feel about those two. Directionally, for the game as a whole, I think they're doing a fairly good job of bringing a lot of variety, as to what you can play, what figures can do. There was an argument that was going on when they first introduced carded figures. I think a lot of people had the mindset of, we were told that everything has to be on the dial. It was going to be a simple game, and I don't like these new cards. I don't like this special powers. It just overcomplicates the game. But if we really look back now in hindsight to all of the years of carded, sets that we've gotten, the game would have been so stagnant if we didn't have that. Like, I mean, every set would just be standard powers, and there's not much variety you can bring to a game. Like, how can you make a figure like Molecule Man with just standard powers? It's really hard to represent some of the stuff he does, and makes it feel less authentic to the characters. So I like what they've done with that direction. Yes, I think they kind of push the envelope a little bit sometimes with figures like Juice and some of the other stuff we see, but I think they've been fairly good about reacting. And yeah, you can argue that some of the stuff should be caught in playtesting, but I think they've been fairly good about reacting to how people feel about how the figures function in the format and making some changes. Still some work to be done, but I think they're in the right direction with PJ's on board now helping with playtesting. So they're doing things. They're using the community to help push things in the right direction. There's just still some work to be done, but nothing's ever going to be perfect.
They've been unusually resistant to do anything to Beetlejuice. Like usually they hear the community and they try to meet them halfway at least.
Yeah.
But with Beetlejuice, they're like, no.
I mean, I can see why. Beetlejuice is an Iconics, and if they don't want to touch with the Iconics as much as we want them to, it's their product. So,
Well, yeah.
I mean, if they're going to touch an Iconics, that's on them. I feel like the Iconics are kind of in a different realm than the regular sets. So let's just leave the Iconics where they are, and we'll figure it out.
I think that's true. Like, if you look at, the only major errata that I can remember to Iconics was with Kong, and that took an unprecedented amount of that figure being played at, I think it was Gen Con or Origins, before they made that change. I think everybody,
yeah, like 38 Kongs.
Yeah, I think everybody realized even before then that this is a very tough figure. I don't know if I would say it rose to the level of like being problematic, but it was like just a really tough figure because everybody just realized how good it was. Like at 50 points, at pretty much all of its point values, it just took for them to see like pretty much every player playing it at Adepticon before they said, "All right, this is a bit much. We need to do something." And with the Juice, like you see him, he's on a ton of builds. I think he's like one of the top 3 or 4 sideline figures, but that's the thing, it's on the sideline, so he's not always hitting the map. I don't think there's a good way to track how many times he actually hits the map because I don't know that AC Units captures that. They can say that they show that he's on the sideline, but it doesn't tell you like did they play or bring him in, like did he hit the map. So that's the thing, but he's always in everybody's mind about being prepared for him. So
yeah, I feel like Beetlejuice is there as kind of a distraction piece for a Despero or a Chair Panther that's going to eliminate something from your sideline and be like, look, I don't want to mess with Juice. We'll take him off. Even though the guy who built the team may not be intending to bring in Juice. It's just there to be like, no, get rid of that guy. Yeah. And I want to touch on your Sinestro question, if I may. I feel like the Captain America Coliseum has some big bonuses if you're inside the Coliseum. Yep. The addition of Sinestro, even if it's not a theme, to say, okay, you can't even bring your stuff up from this -2 is going to be sort of a problem. But they already have stuff in place. They just may not have any readily available with the Outsiders team ability. I feel like with the Captain America and the Sinestro, they're going to have to bring out some Outsiders via LEs or con exclusives or something, because the Outsiders team ability says, sorry, Cap, I'm not worried about your -2. Or I'm going to cap my stuff here so Sinestro can't make it any worse.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Outsiders is viable for it.
I think the Beast Boy dog that's in the set has Outsiders that's in Lantern Legacy. I think he might have the team ability. But there's definitely somebody in Modern that has Outsiders. So yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing. A lot of times the tools are there, but people look at it like, but I don't want to play that
They're
figure.
not looking for the tools. They're just looking to find the quick and easy meta thing.
Right.
And sometimes you have to dig deeper into the toolbox or a different toolbox to find it.
My problem is I always bump heads with anything that's map wide. Any kind of just blanket map wide effect, I have an issue with. I think everything should have a restriction, a range, something.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think just sometimes WizKids sees it differently about what that restriction should be. I think in their eyes, like if you use Sinestro as an example, the restriction is that he is a prime, that he is defensively soft at low dial. I think they look at that and say, and also that he affects friendlies as well. I think they look at that and say, okay, those are the restrictions that keep him in check, but for some figures, like it should be either a range or maybe when this effect goes off, they take a damage or something. Like like with the juice, like if he's on the map, there's just no limitation to what he's doing to your free actions. And yeah, there's an argument to be made. Okay, just he's easy to kill. Go across and kill him. Yeah, but I mean, he's got mastermind. You can't outwit. Like there's problems to be dealt with. It's not as easy as just running across there and then killing him. And then there's like fortify on the sideline. So there's all these things to protect him and other figures like that. So it's tough. But yeah, I mean, board wide effects are generally a problem. It's true.
All
Where
right.
do,
So
go
go
ahead.
ahead, Wes. I
I
was
was
going to
just going
say,
to say,
where
where
do
do
you
you draw the line between, or how do you measure uh, character design as far as being true to the character and really honoring the source material and making the fans happy and what's good for the game?
Yeah, that's always tough. I mean, I think I hear this all the time where somebody will look at a figure like, "Oh, that's not comic accurate." I was like, "This game cannot be comic accurate." For one, I mean, if that was true, every Superman would have like an 8 damage and just one shot most figures off the map. There would be no bystander figures that have stop clicks. Like you're not stopping anything that Superman's doing if you're a reporter on the street. So yes, there has to be checks and balances, and there has to be some things that you look at and say, okay, we can't have it be exactly the way the comics are. Wolverines would never die, all types of things. So you have to walk that fine line, and I mean, kudos to them. I don't know how they strike the balance and how they get it done. A lot of times you hear people say, "Oh, there's no playtesting is not going on." That can't be true. I can't believe that's true because if there was no place testing, there would be way, way, way more issues than what we see now. Like it's just not a coincidence that we have as few issues as we have in the game. There's definitely playtesting going on. I think it's just there's times where some things need to be looked at a little with more of a fine tooth comb, and also in comparison to previous sets. And I guess as us as the players, what we lack is the foresight. Like we can't see what they're planning for the following set. So an answer might be coming, and we say, "Well, you put this thing out in the wild, and it's terrible, and it's bad for the game." And then you see the next set, "Oh, it's fine. We have an answer." So it's tough to strike the balance, especially like when you're not on the inside.
Sometimes the answer was sets ago and we just forgot
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, we saw that in Silver with Darkseid and Reaver. Like, so Darkseid came out and people were like, "This thing is terrible. There's no answers. What can we do?" And then people started playing Griever. It's like, "Oh well, he can't create any terrain next to you. There's the answer." So yeah,
I've been pretty vocal about, Juice is fine for a long time. But then I listened to like the Generation Clix, and Ryan and Miles and the guys are very vocal about how poisonous Beetlejuice is for the game and how it's literally taking their joy away from team building.
yeah,
And I've heard the same words used from players across the spectrum. And at that point, I feel like they really need to sit up and take notice.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, while I think most of what I've talked about with the juice is about his effect on the game, like your free action, things like that. But that's another effect. That's like people will look at it and say, I want to play this fun, goofy team, or I want to play this figure that's not like totally meta, but he just doesn't function when juice is on the map. So I'm not gonna play it. And then that leads to, well, I there's nothing else I see that I really want to play right now, so I'm not gonna go to this event. So it's tough. Like you want to make the meta open enough where people feel like they can play whatever they want. Um, yes, there's always going to be like a competitive level and things that are going to be better than other figures. But when a figure just outright stops a huge portion of what your figure slash team does, it makes it hard to get motivated sometimes to make those longer trips to go play in these events because if you show up with a team that you feel is fun, knowing that Juice could be a potential problem, and then you face him multiple rounds, you just feel like you wasted your time, you didn't have fun. Because there's plenty of players that go and have fun even while losing because they got to play their team and do what their team is intended to do. But when you go and the team just doesn't function and you just get stomped every turn, then it's like, ugh, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
All right. I want to get back on track a little
Yep,
bit here.
go ahead.
Where do you live? What city? What territory? Region?
So for all but this past less than a year, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Um, Lived there my whole life, and then this past year we moved down to Delaware, get some more space for the kids. Still stay fairly close to our family in the Northeast. But yeah, I'm in Delaware now.
Married?
Yeah,
Kids? How many?
two kids, boy, girl.
Ages?
Son is 9 and my daughter is 6, gonna be 7 in October.
Has either one of them shown interest in Clix?
Actually, more recently they've been, getting into it. We've been playing a game every a couple of days. They asked to play. We're still at the phase where we just, you know, just trying to get comfortable with the speed, damage, and all that. No powers yet. No
So
terrain.
you're learning placement and math.
Yes,
How
yes.
about your wife? Does she play?
So when I first started, she played her and a couple of friends of mine. She since hasn't played, so she hasn't played for many years. So yeah, she's not really into it, but she had fun with it in the very beginning.
All right. Shout out to your local shop. Where do you play and what day?
So in Delaware here, I play at Safari Zone. Um, they play kind of like every other week on Saturdays. So yeah, we do that. We play. It's more of a casual scene. Um, but yeah, it's fun.
You're known for being very active in the community and listening or commenting on a lot of podcasts and YouTube channels. What is your favorite content creator in Heroclix?
Wow.
That's a hard question.
That's a really hard question. Um,
No pressure.
it's tough. I mean, if I'm being honest, I think I have to say DGen. The Generation Clips just has, you know, just so much coverage of events, and not just like, this team won, moving on. Like they go through the top eight. They give in-depth analysis around the table of what they think of the teams, um, and just the amount of listener questions. Again, I think a big part of listening to these podcasts is hearing other people's thoughts. And same thing with the Facebook groups, like hearing what other people think, their questions, what are they looking at? And you get a lot of that with DJ because they get a lot of questions and they take the time to answer all of them thoughtfully and go through it. So I'd have to say that that's my favorite one.
I personally like talking clicks, but that's just for the casual slash interview of the people.
Yeah.
So it's a totally different game than what the other HeroClix podcasts are. To me, if I want information about stuff, I feel like Dial H has a lot of just good general information. Um, if you want team breakdowns, DJ Clicks does really good on their coverage for that. If you're looking for the meta, critical clicks, and clicked off, Critical Clicks hasn't been doing a lot of shows lately, but I understand Scott's busy,
Yeah.
as we all are. So
He
good for
just
him.
got married and he just made a
A
post not
show in
long
New
ago
York.
about he's
He
got
got
like a bunch of shows he's doing and traveling everywhere. So he's got a lot on his plate.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. You,
I do miss Ed Shelton's show. I feel like he was very informative and he had his own little unique take.
yeah.
Um, Two Clicks from KO with Aaron Cantu. I feel like that was a fairly good show. He just kind of got burnt out, I guess.
Yeah.
Man, there was a bunch
He was
of
one
other.
of my favorite team builders. Aaron used to have some really unique builds. Um, you know, I know it's like some people comment like they go away from the game, but there's so many players that have been around that I wish they would come back to the game. I think they have like really unique takes on team building and things like that. I think recently you've seen like Brian Dormeyer in the Northwest has kind of come back to the game and been playing. So that was really awesome to see. Um, and just kind of quickly circling back to your question about the favorite podcast. While DGen is my favorite, I think Talking Clicks is the most unique. I love the fact that it like kind of introduces you to players and how uh, they see the game, what they think about the game, but also like kind of getting to know them on a little bit more of a personal level. I think that's something that a lot of people travel to these events because they like to interact with the players, and this is kind of a way to do it virtually. So I think that's a really cool aspect too.
Thank you. And
Thank
then
you.
for the Borderlands show, I love the Borderlands show.
Yes.
I think Shay has a very unique take on things. I love his accent, even though
Yeah.
he doesn't think he has much of one. Um, but yeah,
is,
shout
is he
out to
the
Shay.
is he the one with the Australian accent?
No, that's Mork with the Australian accent. Shay's like mid Kentucky.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever listened to that one. I'm gonna try to look it up. Is it on YouTube?
He does some stuff on YouTube every once in a while, but most of his stuff is I get it on my iPhone in my podcast section. I don't
Yeah.
know how I got it, but I started listening to it a long time ago, and then he dropped out for like 6 years, and then I get on the show, and next thing I know, he's back. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'll try to look it up. Borderlands. I'll take a look.
So McConnell, are you a matrix or a red dress?
A matrix or a red dress? Um, it's probably better to know the truth, so I'm gonna go matrix.
Like you actually like when you look at the game, you see the codes and the mathematical equations. You're not just looking at the it's a movie set.
Yeah, I think I mean I guess I like to think that I see the game on a slightly deeper level than just what's on the surface. But there's always more to be learned and mined. I think talking to other players and listening to. I try to listen to as much podcasts and get as much content as possible. You just you're never gonna know more than the collective community. So I think listening to all of that feedback and what everybody's thinking about and talking about is super helpful.
Yeah, one
Yes.
time I met a former designer for the game, and I was trying to pick his brain about how I could get my foot in the door, and he's like, "You don't want to. It takes away all the fun of the game. It just becomes work, and you
Yeah,
don't enjoy it anymore. So just enjoy the game, do your thing, and don't worry about trying to be a part of the inner circle because it's not worth it."
yeah, 100%. I mean, like I always think about like if there was something like they ever announced like a Naruto set. Like oh man, I would love to like be a guest designer on a set like that and do something like that, but not if it meant like you couldn't play or that you just that was like your full-time job, like you just lose all the enjoyment or most of it. um I when I was in New York, I used to judge at King's Games for probably over 10 years. I was judging there. So one of the things that I always talk to the players about, as when we first started, was I'm gonna run. I'm gonna be the judge, but I need to play. So
Yes.
whether we have an odd number, even number, if there's an odd number that needs to be a buy, I'll take the first one every time. But I need to play some games. I can't come here every week because
That's
you're just gonna get burned out, right? You do
yes.
love the game, but you just have no opportunity to play if you're always judging and never playing. If it's a larger event, sure, I get it. Like we hosted a couple of states, so when it's large like that, you can step back from playing, but on a weekly basis, just for our regular local games, like I need to be playing as well.
I agree. And for that type of event, yes, play. And
Yeah,
then for the bigger events, step back and judge.
yeah,
Be the boss.
100%.
Are you a part of a HeroClix team?
Yeah. So before I'll tell you what it is, but before I joined this team, um, me, Michael Kornicek, Reggie, and Garrett, we all had like a messenger group where we just talk HeroClix nonstop all the time. And then the guys in New Jersey, Team Pusheen, they approached us and asked us if we wanted to join the team, and we, kind of talked about it for a bit. We was like, we kind of have our own thing. We're not like an official team, but we didn't want to lose what we had as far as a group because it was really cool for us to like just talk HeroClix and have our own thing. But in the end, we knew all those guys, and we thought they were good guys, and we all joined Team Pusheen.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Never heard of them. Nah. They're the one cat. Kenny was part of that, right?
Yeah,
Pena?
he's still in the group. There's a couple of people you might know, like there's Anthony Bruno, who was team world champion in 22, 21. Myself, Antonio, Garrett, Michael, Reggie, Tim Tracer, Luke Schaffernacker, um, Tiago Pinto de Luz, Kenny. I mean, just a bunch of players in there.
Yeah, you're a bunch of no names, second rate
Yeah,
guys.
bunch of strangers, newcomers.
Nah. I'm sure everyone that I know in that group, all stand up guys. So I mean, I don't think there's anybody in HeroClix that's just a terrible person. At least not intentionally. I don't think anybody intends to be terrible. Now, when I see Atlas Horn, I got some whoopings to put on him.
Atlas probably thinks I'm a terrible person because I saw him in person at an event last month, and he and I sat down across from each other right after I just got my ass handed to me at the last few couple games. I was having a text fight with my wife, and I was just not in a positive mindset right then, and I probably came across extremely unfriendly, and I apologized to him later. Like, man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like you were having a moment of just being down on from the losses and stuff, but you came back and apologized, and that's the thing. Like, yes, these games are fun. There's a competitive aspect to it. There's going to be times where people get frustrated, but I don't think I've ever, if rarely if ever seen it directed towards the other player. They're kind of like mad at their dice, mad at their rolls, mad at maybe a misplay that they made, but not like because the other player is being a jerk or anything like that. I think that's one of the great things about the game. Again, I haven't played like other tabletop games, but I've heard this from other players who have. Like, they just have never seen a community like the HeroClix community because it doesn't get like cutthroat.
We're family. What? There's no need in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else you got, Scott?
I think I'm ready for the Clix questionnaire, the rapid fire questions.
So, you have said before we started recording that you have listened to all of our shows. You think?
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know why you would subject yourself to that, but I appreciate it.
Yep.
So you are aware that on Talking Clix we have what we call the Clix questionnaire. I have dove into the AI. I've contacted Kevin, the robot from She-Hulk, and come up with a perfect questionnaire for the community to know you inside and out. They know your name. They've seen you on all of the chat rooms and everything, the Discords. But they don't really know you, the Hannibal Buress inside you. Are you brave enough to answer these questions?
Yes.
All right. Pineapple on pizza. How do you feel?
I don't think I've ever tried it, but I'm not opposed. I would give
delicious.
it.
I'm going to piggyback off that and mess up Wes's whole questionnaire. Pineapple on a hamburger.
No, not on a hamburger, but I've had it like on a shark burger.
Pineapple and peanut butter on your hamburger. Give it a whirl.
That sounds borderline awful.
Really good. I would eat that.
I don't know about that.
You have some weird stuff you mentioned sometimes. I'm like, ugh, but that one actually sounds pretty good.
It's delicious.
Peanut butter, pineapple, and a burger. Ooh, I don't know. I'll let you know if it happens.
Don't put no onion on it. That messes it up.
All right.
What was your first concert?
Ooh. Uh, wow, that's hard to remember. I think one of the earlier ones I remember is seeing. I think I saw Linkin Park in it must have been like PA or New Jersey or something. So I think it was that.
Coffee or tea? You don't drink coffee. We already know this.
The answer's T.
All right, one superhero that you wish was real, not a team, just a singular hero.
Superhero that I wish was real. Um, it wouldn't be Superman because I think he's a little too powerful to be trusted.
Same.
Um, I would probably say Batman because I think like he's like brutally pragmatic and just wants to get the right thing done, even though sometimes it feels like the means that he takes to get there are kind of cruel and uh, a bit over the line. But yeah, let's say Batman.
Is water wet?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
If you're building a 300 modern team right now, what is the first piece you're reaching for?
Oh, 300 modern. For a minute, it was Reverse Flash. I just loved having a main force on like every team. Um, then I went through like a Zenzi phase where she was just like making all of my builds. Um, I'm really having a lot of fun with Spirit of Vengeance Ghost Rider right now, so I'll say him.
All right, I'm going to change it up again. Normal question is top 5 powers in Heroclix. But
Ooh.
what's your favorite power in Heroclix?
Mm. All right, so I'll start with my favorite. My favorite is probably Mind Control. Um, I think in the game, a lot of times, even if you're building defensively, you want to have a really good offensive option, and Mind Control is kind of like, and
Mind
maybe
control covers up that offense that you don't have.
yeah, I mean, it kind of just like turns it against your opponent, right? Like I know you're gonna have a good offensive option, so I'm gonna use it against you. So I think it's really good. Yes, it's the having to make the two rolls to hit the mind control and then hit the attack that comes from the mind control.
It's
But
great when you make a crit miss on that attack because they got to take
yeah,
it.
yeah. So mind control, I think, is my favorite. The five that I think is probably the most important. They have that thing in the AC units where you can set up like what powers you want to make sure you have on your team, and mine are leadership, TK, probability control, perplex, and outwit.
So the standard. So
Yeah.
I don't like probability control. I've already stated it enough.
Yep.
Um, my next one that I want to pick on a little bit, leadership is a crutch.
Having four actions is better than three.
4 actions is better than 3. But if I know how to play my team with 3 actions, and you're banking on having 4 actions, and I can take away that fourth action, you're at a
Yeah,
disadvantage. I'm still at 3.
that's true.
Kind
I
of a
actually agree
crutch.
with you on that one.
That's true.
All right, I had a question. All right, so we talked before about. I'm going to go off script here, but we talked before about figures that aren't quite there, like Wolverine Pool and Gauntlet Spider-Man. So you have a figure like Wolverine Pool that you want it to work, but it's just not quite there, right? How many points are you dedicating to make it work? How many points in equipment and support figures, things outside that one individual figure to make it good? How much is worth it?
Huh. I think it kind of depends. So if the figure that I want to make work, if what it does is offensive, what I want to surround it with is probably stuff to shore up its defense because that's probably where it's lacking. But I think if it's not all the way there, um, so if he's bringing offense, I think that's enough. So I mean, probably 50 to 100 points, maybe depending on the figure. If you include other figures, equipment, and stuff that I'm surrounding him with. Because there's so many things you can pay points for, right? There's like those one shots, equipment, there's other figures. So if I can spend 100 points to shore that up, I think it could be worth it.
Is it 100 additional points or 100 points total?
Additional points.
Wow.
I am going to go all full out. I will build a 300-point team. If my stuff is going to work the way I want it to work and it works phenomenally well, I will pull everything into it.
Yeah.
If it's just one little part of the gimmick, I got to have some kind of secondary backup plan. So up to half my build.
That's really interesting because I was working on a Wolverine pool team with the Raven from the Iconic set.
Yeah, the one where you share team ability, and if you're 3 up, it's a crit.
Yep.
And she works phenomenally well with the Scroll Miss Marvel Legacy card.
Yeah. I was really feeding into Wolverine Pool's gimmick with the if it's a crit hit, he gets to roll a d6 for how much crit damage he does.
Yeah.
And with Raven and then the Phoenix Pog, they can share a keyword. And I started feeding off that, but then before I knew it, I was putting in like 100 points just on this one gimmick. I'm like, that's that.
You go all out and you have fun with it. I mean, that's what it's for. That's why we play the game.
I think you could also like try to use less points to try to get that to work. If you play, maybe you've tried this, but if you try like Rip Hunter, he has that thing where when you get to that last countdown token, if it's a hit, it's a crit hit. So if you can time it right, you can make it so that, all right, when I attack with Wolverine Pool, it's going to be when I'm pulling that last countdown token off, and if he hits, it's a crit hit, and you get what you're looking for.
I'll be honest, I really slept on Rip Hunter because he's one of those pieces that requires so much setup, and it's so situational that I didn't want to mess with it.
Yeah, take a look. I think you can get what you're looking for probably the least amount of points. But yeah, try it.
All right.
Will you be attending Red, White, and Clix this November?
I haven't completely ruled it out, but if I had to, gun to my head, I'd probably say I'm not going to be able to make it, but I haven't completely ruled it out.
Did you watch the explanation video that I put out?
I did. I watched that. I still need to go back and watch the expletive-laced blooper reel.
The blooper reel? The blooper reel is like a minute and a half of just gold.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. But yeah, I did see the explanation one. It just seems like a lot of cool events, lots of great prizing. I think I saw that you were giving like a brick to top 16, which sounds insane. But yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. The pictures from last year were really great, and I just want to take a moment to shout out to you and really all the community members that take it upon themselves to run events for whatever cause. Yours is a really good cause, and I appreciate that. But really just taking it upon themselves to fill the void when they felt there weren't enough events, and do whatever they can to get events going to grow their community in their area. So I really appreciate that. That's really awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, if I haven't paid the invoice yet, so if it looks like I'm not going to get the numbers I need to get, I will have to reduce significantly, or I'll end up losing my shirt. So just putting it out there. If you guys are even thinking about coming out, make sure you let me know so I don't take away the prizes.
100%.
All right. What's your worst first date?
My worst first date.
You can pass.
No, I mean, I think I've been with my wife for so many years, and really like my first significant date was with her. So I think I can't say this is really a bad one.
I mean, you landed her, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can't really say I had a bad one, no.
All right.
Can I ask this question? I want to ask this question.
Yeah.
The question is worded as a childhood adolescent celebrity crush. I don't like that childhood adolescent thing. I'm like, some of us didn't even realize that that girls existed until we were like teenagers. So, a young celebrity crush when you were late teens, early 20s.
I just don't want anybody in trouble with their current celebrity crush and their wife listens and It's bad.
Who is that one that's like, man, yeah?
Oh, wow.
Because I'll say it.
Mhm.
Selma Hayek has been on the top of my list for years. But
Yeah.
before I knew Selma Hayek was alive,
Mhm.
Alyssa Milano.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, you know what? That's a good one. This probably dates me a bit, but like going back to Saved by the Bell, there was what's her name? Lisa Turtle. She was cute. She was real cute.
Yeah, I'll go with that one. All right. So the Joker has captured Scott and I.
Mhm.
You can only save one of us. Who are you saving?
Ooh, I can only say one of you. Is this before or after Red, White, and Clix has happened?
Right now.
um, I am gonna save. Damn. Not,
TikTok. TikTok.
not. Sorry. I'm not saving Scott. Sorry.
So it's like
Can't
1 to 5,
save
1 to 6.
Scott.
All right. You can have a factory set of any set of HeroClix. Which one is it?
Wow.
Legacy, not Lantern Legacy. Legacy.
So sets that have been released or sets that we
Yeah.
know?
Any set that's been out.
Ah. Um.
Previous sets. I'm not gonna say new sets.
Yeah, because I would quickly grab up a new set. Sets that have been released already. A full factory set. Oof. Let's go with.
Like you're taking indie clicks.
Oh no way. Let's go with War of the Light. War of Light. They had like just a ton of great figures. It was a really cool set. So yeah, let's go with that.
All right. Is it my turn, Wes? No, it's your turn.
All right. So in a fantasy world where none of us are married, the three of us are going on a group date with the Gotham girls. You get to
Yes.
decide who gets paired with who. You got
Okay.
Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Batgirl, Catwoman, Renee Montoya, which I don't even know who she is, and Zatanna.
Renee Montoya is a detective.
Yeah, she was the question for a little while. Uh,
Yes.
so I have to pair each of us up with one of them. All right. Let's see. Hmm. Wes, you're gonna get. I'm gonna give you Renee Montoya. You served. She's in law enforcement. You can have some good stories
All
there.
right.
Scott. Let's see. Oh yeah, he let the hair out. He's trying to
Yeah, I
give
let the hair out. I'm tired of it being back.
me a clue. I'm gonna give you, and this is just for a date, right? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you Poison Ivy, and I'm gonna take Harley out for a spin.
All right.
All right. 5 words to describe the rest of your life.
All right, 5 words.
That's 2. That's 3.
Oh
You got 2 left.
no. Oh,
Oh no, it's over.
um, love, prosperity, family, travel, and happiness.
All right. I gotta know. Favorite sandwich?
Mm, there's so many good ones.
PB&J with apples and peanut butter.
While good, I wouldn't say that's a favorite. Man, it's probably a toss up between like a Philly cheesesteak and like a really good like Italian sub. Um, it's one of those two. Take your pick.
All right.
All right. Favorite season.
Oh, summer for sure.
You're going to a World Championship Team Steel event. You get to pick any two players to join you. Who are you taking?
Oh, definitely gonna run it back with. So in 2023, we won Team Worlds. It was myself, Garrett, and Antonio, and I would take those two guys again to try to well, not repeat because we didn't win it last year, but I'll try to do it again.
All
Bring the
right.
bring the title home.
Yeah.
All right. Who played the best Batman Bruce Wayne?
separately, like who was the best Batman and who was the best Bruce Wayne, or who played the best combo of the two?
I'm
Yes.
gonna go combo.
It's so much easier to pick them separately. Um, Dang, I think the Dark Knight trilogy. I think was my favorite of all of them from the entire movie experience. I don't know that Christian Bale was my favorite Bruce Wayne though. He probably was my favorite Batman, but Bruce Wayne, oh man, yeah, it's so hard when you have to do a combo. I'm gonna go with the Dark Knight because his Batman was just so good that I can't leave it off the table. So yeah.
Uh, which A-team member are you going to hang out with?
Who was the leader?
Murdoch.
Was it Murder? Or was it
No, it
Hannibal?
wasn't Murdoch. It was Hannibal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Hannibal. We're gonna go with
You got to
him.
think of Hannibals, man.
Oh, no, I didn't even realize it. Oh man, see, I should have changed my answer. But
All
no,
right.
stick with Hannibal.
Warm up for the clue here.
Mm,
It is a 3-digit number.
that's
The second digit is equal to or greater than the first digit. What
okay.
number is Wes thinking?
What I said I've listened to all the shows. I should have been writing down the numbers and everything.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna go with 666.
No.
Ah.
Ew. No.
Well, cross that one off.
And what is your biggest biggest Heroclix superstition?
I don't know that I have many superstitions. I think one thing that I always worry about is when an opponent rolls to hit a figure of mine that has like super senses. I'm always saying in my mind, I know if I re-roll this, they're gonna roll a crit hit and I won't get super senses. So I'll say it's that.
All right.
Congratulations, you've made it through the questionnaire.
Survive the questionnaire. The whole
Heroclix community knows you.
How does it feel?
Good. It's been a lot of fun.
Good, good.
All right. Outside the questionnaire, do you like pulp in your orange juice or milk?
No to both.
You're missing out.
I like fresh squeezed orange juice, but not pulpy orange juice.
How do you feel about grape juice?
I'll have it on
Grape. I'm good with grape.
Yeah.
If you drink Screwball, the peanut butter whiskey, you put in like 2 fingers of Screwball. You put in like 2.5, 3 fingers of grape juice, and you swirl it around and you smell it. It smells like peanut butter. You hit it, it tastes like jelly.
I had a peanut butter, I think it was like a peanut butter IPA when we were in Memphis last year for Worlds. It was pretty good, surprisingly. I didn't expect it to be, but it was pretty good.
So, funny story about my beautiful wife slash secretary. My son hates strawberries. Like detests strawberries for whatever reason. I don't know. He's weird, but he hates strawberries. So we could never have anything strawberry in the house. He was just be crappy about it.
Yeah.
He just recently moved out with his girlfriend, and I'm making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with the grape jelly that we've always had. I'm looking at her like, why are we still using grape? Why don't we have strawberry jelly in the house? She's like, yeah, why don't we?
You're so used to it now.
My wife makes our jelly. It's called a mesquite bean jelly.
Ooh.
It is, I don't know if you know what mesquite beans are. They come off a mesquite tree. And they use mesquite wood to cook barbecue.
Use like in barbecue? Yeah.
Yes, it's the wood they use in barbecue. But the beans are not generally the best thing to eat. You got to dry them out. You can make bread out of the beans.
Okay.
You can make dough out of it. So my wife will boil the beans. She puts the beans to the side, uses the water, filters it through a little cloth, and then she makes the jelly out of the beans. And it is a sweet, smoky flavor.
Oh, wow. Nice.
All right, so this is a 2-part question. One, percentage-wise, where are you at as far as if you will or won't come to Red, Wine, and Clix? 50-50 or whatever. Second part of that question is, if you came, would you buy raffle tickets to play Hot Clix?
So one, where am I percentage-wise? I probably would say it's probably like a 20% chance that I would show up, just because of the timing and everything, and I'm definitely going to be at World, so just man, I don't do a lot of like big HeroClix trips, so yeah, I'll probably put at 20%. Unfortunately, would I buy raffle tickets for Hot Ones clicks? Probably not. I guess yeah, just burn my mouth up trying to play through these games. I do love hot wings, wings in general, but
They
uh,
got to be flavorful. I don't want to just die.
yeah, that's the thing. Like I'm not opposed to like spicy food, but it can't just be spicy for the sake of being spicy and like you don't taste like good flavor. You're like just burning your mouth.
Are you familiar with Hot Ones and the Bomb?
Yeah, I've seen the show, like clips from it. I don't think I've ever watched like a full episode, but I've seen clips from it.
Oh man, it's so I love watching it. I love watching the celebrities. They're fine up until they get to the bomb. And it's not even the
Yeah.
hottest one, but for some reason they get to the bomb, and every comedic outtake is from that one bite because it destroys people.
Yeah.
And I just bought a bottle on Amazon yesterday, so it's coming.
Have you? Oh, you haven't tried it yet. Yeah, let me know how
Well,
you
I've
like it.
tried it, but
Oh,
I need some fresh for the event.
does it? Is it as hot when you taste it? Is it as hot as the reaction that you see on the show?
A
Or
1000%.
All right, so hot clicks. It's gonna be tough.
yeah, I mean that's just too much spice for me to sit and enjoy. Like again, I like spicy food, but I don't know that I can sit there and just go through the gauntlet of hot wings.
Well, the nice thing
So
is, it won't be all super hot. Some will just be tame barbecue, sriracha, whatever. You just don't know.
Yeah,
question
like
about this drink. Is that like every time I put the glass up to my mouth?
Yes.
Because I mean I just might, kill a half a gallon.
Yep. Yeah, and some people might just say it's worth the unavoidable damage. We'll see how it plays out. I don't know. I've never. It's all theoretical in my head, so we'll see. But yeah, in my mind, it's every time you put a glass to your mouth.
mm.
Okay. Just take really long, good drinks.
Yeah. And do your research because, from what I understand, water is the opposite effect of what you think. You want
Now, you
something like
see, I
milk.
have an idea. I'm just gonna coat my tongue in Vaseline. I'm good to go. Everything else may burn. My
Go to
tongue
the
will be
dentist
fine.
and have them inject the Novocaine in your mouth before you come.
Yeah, yeah.
So you
They
just
won't
chew
be
it on
able to
your
tell you
tongue.
what I'm doing. It'll be like, oh, I'm gonna just throwing dice. Be like, what did you call?
No, it'll be a good time. It'll be a good time.
Are you gonna film that portion of it?
Yes, I'm going to, one way or another, I'm going to stream it live for the whole world to enjoy.
Awesome.
All right, Scott, you got anything else?
No, I think I got everything I needed out of this. I do have my final thought,
All right, go ahead.
but I'll wait on y'all to
Oh,
get
yeah.
y'all's out the way.
Hannibal, go ahead.
Hannibal. When did we interview Hannibal?
Oh, yes, your first celebrity guest. um, Final thoughts. I think, everyone out there that's like, playing HeroClix, talking HeroClix. I appreciate, all the players, all the podcasters and all that everyone puts into the game because it's, time away from your family and friends and all of that to play this silly little game with us. So I definitely appreciate that and, keep, being good community members, keep building up the community wherever you are as much as you can. Go to events when you can, play, have fun. Um, yeah, I would just say that. Just really appreciate all of that.
All right, I want to tag on to that. How you're saying build the community. To me, building the community is a chore. It is work. It is a ton of work. But if you do it consistently, you play the same day of the week at the same time, you will
Uh-huh.
start getting those people in.
Yeah,
The ones that want to play will be there. The
yeah,
ones that don't know about it can learn about it. The store will be like, hey, these guys do this on Monday nights at 7 or Saturdays at 2 or whatever. You keep consistent, you can build a group.
yeah. I think that's the one of the hardest things, or maybe one of the things that gets missed a lot. Like for me, when we were running things in Brooklyn, it was about consistently having games, giving players a reason to validate their collections. Like, I think a lot of times if you don't have frequent games, people will start to question, like, why am I, I'm not even playing the game. Why am I buying this stuff? They don't get to, get a full experience if you don't have like a good variety of games and formats. So, give them a reason to play Clix that they wouldn't typically play. Like you said, hold it consistently, and communication, like get the information out there as early as possible about when events are happening. There's a lot of avenues to communicate that now. There's a bunch of Facebook groups. There's the Heroclix venues and events page. There's just that players and collectors around the world, which I think has the most members of any Heroclix group I've seen. So you can, post stuff there, but, start an email group with the players that are around you, talk to the store, just any way you can communicate early and as often as possible. And like you said, Scott, just being consistent with holding events, I think all of that lends itself to building the community and people just wanting to play and have a good time.
All right. My final thought is to kind of feed off that. I want to thank everybody who has supported our channel. It has grown tremendously. We now have 103 subscribers. I want to thank you for watching us from the beginning and all the way through, and going through all of our growing pains with us, and Mark Bird and everybody else who has stayed with us from the very beginning. I can't thank you enough. I thank you for everybody who is supporting Red, White, and Clix. It's a passion project of mine. Just make sure you let me know if you plan on coming, because it does make a difference in planning the event. But I want to thank everybody so much for supporting this channel and all of our efforts, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes.
All right. I have one question before my final thought. We didn't touch base on this. Mm-hmm. Casual or competitive?
Which one?
Casually competitive.
I'll say casually competitive. I like to play in the larger event. Like, you really do feel like kind of a high when you come out of those events, those multiple round events with a cut, a team that you've been working on for weeks or however long, and testing and just seeing how it does in the field. It's not always going to work out, but it's always fun to see the work that you put into it and how that leads to the games and the matchups you face. So casually competitive, yeah.
Yeah, I was happy at 2023. Like, I took an Exodus team to try and face off all the Sakaran Ironmans, and I didn't do very well. I killed every Sakaran Ironman I faced.
Yeah.
Ed Shelton realized what I was doing, and he put me on his little quick interview. So I thought that was cool and fun, that I was trying to do something anti-meta, but yeah, casually competitive. Love it. All right, my final thought. Best you go back where you came from now. We don't take too kindly to pathetic, flabby glutes in these parts.
Was that looked like Cards Against Humanity?
Yes, sir. Those are my final thoughts.
Nice.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. McConnell, Lamarre, I feel like I know you already because I've seen your name so many times, but it is a joy to talk to you in person. You are a delight. Scott, as always, I love you, man. And for everybody out there in Heroclix land,
keep on Clixing.
Keep on Clixing. Have a good night.
Take care.
Thank you, and good night.
From the Big Apple where the streets never sleep, he strategizing moves while the competition weeps. Master of the board, like a general in command, with the dice in his hand, he's got the game well planned. Around all the fans, hear his voice in the air as he breaks down the plays like he's pulling back a chair. With a style so fresh and a smile that ignites, rolling high numbers, man, he's reaching new heights. In the game, he's a king, rolling dice every night. The McConnell, Lamarre, shining bright in the spotlight. Click celebrity, knowledge like a sage man, asking all the right questions, got the answers in hand. Hannibal Buress, but better in style. Podcast on blast, yeah, listen for a while. Fucking Clix, he's a Mac, don't get it twisted. New York's finest, every challenge he's enlisted. Nobody's as nice, always stays on track. In the world of Heroclix, he's got the knack. Making plays like a chess master, sharp and wise in the Heroclix Clix arena, watch the sparks fly. The combo so lethal, he define the game. The arrow of the dice, bringing fortune and fame. Got the clickers all buzzing when he steps in the room. Strategy so solid, it's like he's reading the loom. From the city that never sleeps to the game board glow, he's the one they turn to, making knowledge overflow.